When will there be Funko Pops of us?
Hopefully never.
I feel like we could get a Funko Pops made of us like now. I feel like
You don't want to see your huge ass bobblehead like in a Funko Pop? No.
I'd probably make a very adorable caricature. I'm probably cuter as a caricature than as a human being.
I think everyone is.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
Not me.
like,
Not me.
putting
You can improve
aside-
on this.
putting aside whether it is like desirable to have a Funko Pop, let's just talk about the
It
logistics.
is. Okay.
Because the way Funko Pops work is they have a generic character model that they add clothes to. And like we don't have like discernible clothing styles such that we would be immediately recognizable by those alone. Like we don't have costumes, you know? So
We
like,
need to-
be like here's a white woman Funko Pop.
I demand that we change the title of this episode right now.
Here's a white woman Funko
Here's
Pop.
a white woman Funko Pop. Rachel, you've raised some critical issues, and I feel like what you're saying is we need to get outfits. We need to dress like Homer Simpson, and just wear the same thing every day.
Well, I don't know if y'all noticed, but I wear the same thing every time we stream, so I
we
could
can
have
make-
a pretty
Right.
good Funko Pop.
We can make a good Funko Pop of Ren just scowling and wearing like a leather jacket. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because
doing that.
Ren's vibe is definitely like aggressive and threatening.
We
Yeah.
talked about this.
I'm 5'3" and I will beat you up. So
That is true. You would climb me like a little spider monkey. Just to kick my ass.
God.
I believe this. Yes, I'm not
So-
even that tall. I'm 5'7". Like,
It's
okay,
really.
let's fucking go.
I have bits that I'm gonna keep to myself.
No, I want to hear him. Oh my god.
oh, okay, cool. Good.
We're going bananas. We're going bananas.
We've lost our goddamn mind.
I don't know how I'm gonna get. How do I get my headphones?
How do you not
You
wear
have to
this?
put the headphones on like under it. Like you're gonna have to go from below.
We listen. So instead of oh my god.
I'm fucking crying.
This is like the
Our views are going through the fucking roof, Kennedy. You
Look,
gotta keep that banana on.
Keep this
I
all
day.
have a distinct brand now. I'm Kennedy the banana guy. If you listen to the podcast, I have banana related takes.
Banana D. Cooper, everyone say hello. I think the way you're dressed right now is completely appalling.
Oh,
Or no, it's appealing. It's appealing. I like it.
Feeling, yeah.
I got to work on these. Yeah. All right. So, it's kind of cool that everybody's in a good mood because the apocalypse is happening like literally right now.
Uh-oh.
It's the end of all things. Lindsey Graham has pierced the veil, and this, I guess, is like the Lindsey Graham version of becoming Joker build. Lindsey Graham is just. So I'm just gonna read this, and if you guys could make a epic movie trailer music in the background as I read this, that would probably be great. All right. It appears the French Revolution has now come to the Democratic Party based on initial primary results from New York and Kentucky.
dun, dun.
If you had any doubts about who was in charge of the Democratic Party, all doubts should have been removed.
Dun, dun.
Joe Biden, Speaker Pelosi, and Senator Schumer are figureheads. There is a growing radical liberal movement which will eventually cast them aside.
Dun, dun.
The real power rests with AOC, the squad and affiliated individuals slash
Ah! All right, I'm done. Keep
Democrat in
reading.
office, and every Democrat running from office lives in fear of the mob and the squad. The idea of working with President Trump to accomplish objectives to help America is a one-way ticket to political exile. The Democrat Party will be held captive by the most radical political mob in modern American history. Their power and electoral success appears to be growing day by day. God bless you, Lindsey Graham. I love it. Lindsey, you should come work for the podcast. Can you come do our intros, Lindsey? Just
Yeah, this is like DSA recruitment material right here.
it's recruiting
Yeah,
me.
we got a cool banana guy.
Yeah,
Everybody's favorite person at the party is banana guy.
that's true.
I'm at
No, so, like, the whole thing-
it's so hot in here. Jesus.
I don't know if Lindsey Graham's recruiting
No,
people for
keep it for the
DSA. He's
bits.
recruiting me to nut on my monitor, though. Just
I just like my favorite thing about it is like I'm reading this. My favorite thing about this particular meltdown is like I'm sitting here reading this and they're like, you know, Democrats refuse under any circumstances to work across the aisle. And then it's just like, yeah, it would be terrible if one of the parties just started capriciously, unilaterally, and strictly partisanly, like just destroying any legislation the other side wanted to pass and refusing to work with them. Like that would be absolutely horrible.
absolute madness.
What a
Yeah.
nightmare.
Wouldn't it, Mitch McConnell and Lindsey Graham?
These motherfuckers like literally stole a Supreme Court seat like yesterday. Like if you
Like,
live through
just- It's so it has to be cynical, right? Like they can't believe these things they're saying.
I don't know about that. I think
mean,
I think Lindsey Graham's a very fearful human being, and I think he's easily intimidated.
That
So-
part is objectively true.
Yeah, so I think 2 seats. That's right, multiple seats.
yeah.
Kavanaugh's not even legitimate. What are we talking about here?
I mean, I think this is like, you know, we were kind of talking about this on our Discord earlier, like the just sort of disingenuous way that conservatives talk about this shit. Like they don't mean what they say at all. Like they're just literally just playing a game with us. And that game is like respectability politics, more or less. Like, will you keep towing the line of saying the quote unquote right things, no matter what I say? As long as I also frame it in these like, you know, sort of like legalese kind of ways of speaking that like has become so normal in America that people even do this. Like you do this when you're calling to like cancel your doctor's appointment, right? You know, like you know what I mean? Like this has become so ingrained in people that like it's just like a thing that everyone's doing all the time now. Quit putting the camera on me.
That's literally
I'm a banana.
The banana is ratings. We don't need you specifically. In fact, you could just leave that seat and we could just have a banana.
Put
In
the
fact,
banana.
we should mess with this format. We should replace ourselves with puppets and see if our viewership goes up. If we can, or Funko Pops, if we can get like some really nice Funko Pops of ourselves.
Hell yeah.
Just go, I have cakes.
hmm You know, and the cool thing is we can just get like any random assortment of Funko Pops because they're literally indistinguishable from each other. We
That's
just,
correct.
yeah.
If any random artists want to make like Funko Pops of other people look like us, please DM us.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Actually,
I would
no,
make that
no,
my
hold
profile
on,
picture
stop.
forever.
Stop.
Forever. Do you want to be my profile picture forever? Make
Stop.
a Funko
Make
Pop
us-
of me.
Make us a cooler action figure. Don't make it into a fucking Funko Pop. Maybe it's an action
Always-
figure that actually poses. You know?
No, you're not gonna
always
be a-
do
you're
the
not gonna be a
funniest
G.I. Joe, Banana Joe. Get out of
Banana,
here.
Banana Joe Kennedy.
Y'all are tripping.
GI Bananity.
G.I. Banana.
Hey, it works too because GI.
Yes.
Aw. Damn.
I think they do it to instill fear in the. I don't know, Karishma. I don't know why I'm giving you the Lindsey Graham voice. I think they do it to instill fear in the masses. That end goal is protecting their wealth and power. I mean, yeah. I mean, listen. It is also a hustle. They do it to raise money. You know, like to get those other scared Republicans. AOC's coming. She's coming to my house. She's gonna get 69.69% in my district. She's coming.
Shit, you can't make up.
You can't make
You
it up.
literally can't make these memes up. They just happen organically because the gods themselves are smiling on this movement. Like,
I don't know what. I think the gods are on Team Chaos. I think that part has been made very clear. I don't think
as
the
though
Lord
chaos is not 69.69%.
Yeah.
My partner just walked in the room and she didn't know I was in the banana costume and she just made this face. Can I just say, Lindsey Graham, you made our day, honestly, because a lot of the primaries that we were watching yesterday,
Lost.
you know, a lot of the people that we were hoping might win lost, and we knew that a lot of them were uphill battles, but really like it didn't go as well as we'd hoped, just in general, you know, and like. Lindsey Graham today having a fucking meltdown over just like AOC getting reelected, which is like basically all that, right? Like, and well,
Jamal
I mean,
Bowman.
Jamal Bowman, that's like one, and Mondaire Jones. Those are like two of the big, like really big things we did. like shouts out to John Munitz who stopped by the stream yesterday. He was right.
Those were both the realistic picks. I mean,
Yeah,
if we were betting money, we would have bet with them. But we also have to swing for the fences. And I mean, we're gonna beat Carolyn Maloney in a primary. Go for it, do it. It's rough. It's rough, but we did it. So there you go. Ren, Mondaire Jones is in your district.
You volunteered for his campaign.
Yeah. So now he owes you, and by extension, owes us.
I'm trying. I message his campaign manager, so we'll see. Watch out for Mondaire Jones on us.
How are you feeling right now? Like, y'all put a lot of work into this.
Yeah.
I know you talked about it a lot. Like, that was like a serious effort that went into it. Do you want to talk a little bit about just like the serious amount of work that went into Mondaire getting elected and like what a big success that was?
Oh my God, yeah. So like, I was in their volunteer Slack, like volunteering for them all the time. I did a lot of text banking for Mondaire. Like every single weekday, they would have people texting at noon and just like mass texting like thousands of people every single day and calling people every single weeknight and Sundays too, I think. And like they would make like 10,000 calls in a single night sometimes, and it was like crazy because the opponents in the race were making like 10,000 calls in a week, and so it was like we were just consistently beating them like every single week and like making this huge effort, and it really paid off because Mondaire won by like he had 40% of the vote, so it was like really amazing to like see that kind of turnout.
Mondaire, a Bernie person, is now Hillary Clinton's rep. That is some poetic justice. Didn't you have a Hillary Clinton related fear because Hillary is in your district that she was going to endorse or run?
Well, yeah. So Hillary lives in my district, and I was scared that because of this open seat that she was going to try and run for it.
Oh, yeah.
But she didn't, so thank God.
That would have been, wouldn't it have been?
I'm not gonna lie, the logistics of this banana suit and the headphones are a nightmare.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't need to hear you. Wear that banana. You will wear that damn banana.
I mean, you'll hear me. I won't hear you. It's the other way around.
Oh, fine.
I'll just be throwing random hot takes out with no context.
That's totally fine.
10 minutes from now, I'll just throw some random Chuck Schumer hot take or something.
Like, we're not even talking about Chuck Schumer anymore. We're talking about Paperboy. I don't know what we'll be talking about.
Can we talk about?
Wait, Ren now gets to work on literally every leftist campaign. Ren is already working. No, we have Ren. Ren is our property. You can't.
What?
Yeah, there was reparations just passed this morning. There are some very weird terms. I don't care about how that works.
All right, I guess I have no say in that.
On behalf of my adopted son, Brandon, I would like to apologize.
No, yeah.
As his mother, I need to take responsibility for that one. I raised him poorly.
Yeah. Banana says that should be like that should be a whole segment. You should just do banana says. Come up with some puns.
I'll just do short videos so that I don't have to wear the headphones. Like it won't be a live thing.
Yes.
I'll do hashtag banana says, and I'll just say
whatever you want to say, but
I'll just stare at the camera.
That's even better. Wait, can you keep that face? We're gonna blow you up. All right, great. This is pure ratings gold. Pure ratings gold. Okay. If Ren equals wins, sorry B. If Ren has that much power, Ren should just run for Congress.
Can't honestly say that I put in like a lot of effort into dealing with Mondaire Jones. So
that is not how the clout game works. You were instrumental.
True.
Ren wins. Win with Ren. Hashtag.
Literally, all the time for months and months and months. Do you know how most volunteers like stick with a political campaign for like 2 weeks and then they move on? Like you like kept with it for a long time. Give yourself a little credit. And also rub some of that magic on this podcast, you know?
That's right. Well, we have been winning.
We're way more successful.
We've been winning. We've been winning. We just had Howie Hawkins go on it. Like we're doing great.
I mean, Howie Hawkins is great. There's a lot of good stuff. And definitely some of the people that we've been, hoping would do well, are doing well still. It's not like we picked all bad tickets, or anything like that. Like, it's been good. Like,
We
I-
didn't we
Never
picked
had
good
that.
tickets too. Like even in as much as
elections and absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, we
it was
just
because
talking about-
just because somebody didn't
Lindsey
win
Graham.
doesn't make them a bad ticket.
Correct. We have that conversation all the time.
A lot of the people that we backed here on this program, and that the people that we know backed, and that like our friends worked on their campaigns and that kind of stuff, they were first-time people. Most for 80% of first-time people that run don't win. But like after that first time, your odds of winning go way up.
Yeah, and it's also not like they didn't do well. Like Paperboy, like he got 20% of the vote in his race. And, like that's
20%
incredible.
He literally said yesterday, if Paperboy takes at least like 20%, then like he's got a political
Great.
career. Like, he
Yeah.
did it,
Yeah, and he did, and that's amazing. Like he didn't win, but he like that, and that's incredible. So
Paperboy for state assembly. You have no idea what's going to happen.
yeah, shout out to Paperboy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just do it again. And Lindsey Boylan did phenomenal fundraising and raised enough money to saturate the district. So she has like full name recognition in that district. So next time, 2022, she will start as like a household brand name. And hopefully there's no other person jumps in there to muck the works up. But yeah, 2 years from now, Lindsey Boylan, worth thinking about, worth looking at. What is
Yeah,
It's gonna keep trying different methods.
So speaking of things that aren't working at all and are kind of terrible,
America?
Kentucky
America.
specifically, like just the entire country, but also mostly Kentucky in this immediate context. My favorite thing I've seen this day in bullshit media nonsense was specifically CNN saying the Kentucky primaries went very well, unlike
That's not
Georgia.
That's
which
not
is-
real.
I shit you not. I will send y'all the link right now. I will put it in chat. You can verify this for yourselves. You can Google it if you feel like doing it sooner. CNN literally published a piece that said the Kentucky primaries went well. And their whole thing was like, oh no, they didn't do voter suppression.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
All right. Oh my God.
This just keeps getting worse.
This is
Every day our
Why are you-
podcast is worse.
yeah, this is definitely the weirdest thing we've ever. Let's just ignore that. Just ignore that. Pretend that's
We're all
not.
just, you know what? We're
Yeah.
we're
tired.
just vibing.
We're tired. I'm
We're
tired.
tired. I'm
We're tired.
tired.
I'm tired.
What the fuck?
Why
BoJack Horseman, our special guest. BoJack, are you still in therapy? Are you working on your problems?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so, BoJack.
I'm letting my problems get the better of me.
Listen, it's a cycle, and yeah, Kennedy's fucking lost it today. That's just for all
Yeah.
of you people who are
Politics
taking
broke
screenshots.
Kennedy.
He's broken. It's over. No more.
Yeah,
All right. Good Lord.
great times. So anyway, Kentucky sucks, and it did a real bad job, and it disenfranchised the fuck out of people. And in spite of that, Booker did pretty well, actually.
We don't know whether Booker has won yet.
Yeah. But
it-
no matter what, the fact that he is that close is really impressive, honestly.
2022, Rand
Mhm.
Paul, watch your ass.
Yeah.
Win
Yeah.
or lose, unless Charles Booker beats McConnell, which would be pretty amazing. And
God, I would literally have a party about that.
Right?
Like
I
that
think
is the
so.
thing. We would all like
Okay.
have to have an actual party.
All right. What if the virus is still out, but McConnell
No, we'll
loses?
do it digitally. We'll do it online. We fucking everything is content. Don't be
Okay.
ridiculous.
Wait,
But like,
wait. What if you've got to do the rally in person? You've got to have the party in person. In
Why?
exchange, because the gods have just said
oh,
so.
okay. I'm making like a deal with the devil here. Okay.
Yeah, the chaos gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got to have an in-person party. It's a Trump style party. It's just like 400 people in a room with no masks. But
And also, there's like 30,000 empty seats as well.
correct.
Okay.
So, but McConnell out of there. Do you do it? Do you go?
I mean, I would lick a Trump supporter if it got McConnell out of office. I don't care. Like, I don't. I would have sex with one. I would have sex with Mitch McConnell if it would get him out of office. Like, I don't care.
Damn.
Whatever would get him out of office.
I think from a pure philosophical perspective, that seems like a no-brainer. Man, the sacrifices we're all making. Like Kennedy.
Ren said I gotta. Ren sent me a private message and was like, "Put the banana suit back on."
Our viewership dipped a couple numbers. Like we went from like 20 to like 17. So it's like you gotta put the suit back on.
It was like 30 to 15, and I was like, "Put the banana suit back on." If this is what gets us viewers, so be it.
It's hot as hell, but I will wear the banana suit if that's what it takes.
So this tells me that this is actually something that we should all go to Party City. We should dress like Fruit of the Loom. We should dress. I should wear some grapes. Rachel, if you had to dress like a piece of fruit,
Peach.
Yeah, that works. Ren, what fruit are you gonna? What vegetable? Strawberry.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think honestly, what I would do is I would just put on like peach-colored pants and just film my butt the whole episode, and that's how I would do Peach.
Just stick a little piece of twig on top.
Yeah, like just do that. Pin a tree or pin a twig to it.
These are all great ideas. Watermelons are off limits, but aside from that, wear any fruit that you want.
I just want to say, when we're talking about justice tips, we're talking about social media. Has any take aged worse thanks to coronavirus than Nancy Pelosi's Twitter is not real life take?
Nancy Pelosi's everybody wants to watch me eat ice cream take has definitely aged worse.
That is a coronavirus take.
That one was instantly bad. One was instantly bad. I'm talking about like when Nancy Pelosi made this dunk, it was sort of like a dividing thing where some people kind of took her side and were like, yeah, you don't control everything just because like Twitter leftists with roses in their username, retweet you. And then like, there were some people that were like, actually like these people, organize and support campaigns, and like the people that you're talking about that are those rose Twitter people, a lot of them are very politically active, so maybe you shouldn't be quite so dismissive. And there was kind of like both sides to it at the time. But now it's like in Corona time, we're all on Twitter. That's all there is. So like,
Bernie, I don't forgive you.
I just want an excuse to say fuck you, Nancy Pelosi, every single day. Today, that's my excuse. Nancy Pelosi, you're terrible. I'll never forgive you for anything.
Bernie, I don't forgive you.
I feel like Brandon's right. This tweet definitely aged worse.
Yeah, no.
But not well.
I love y'all. I love you, Bernie, but you got to
Bernie, I don't forgive you. You endorsed Joe Biden.
That
I don't
did
forgive you.
Very badly. Very badly.
But look, this is that's a take that ages badly, but it will re-age like 20 years from now. We'll say, oh, Bernie was just talking like in a cosmic sense.
I mean, honestly, like if we actually pull this shit off and fix things, like that tweet will have come around again and been good. I agree. Yeah. Like, and I honestly believe in the sentiments behind the tweet. Like I honestly don't think we can beat them electorally. And I know for a fact we cannot beat them electorally quickly enough to meaningfully divert the course of this train wreck. Yeah. Right.
If we can live through climate change and like a lot of our political opponents taking their philosophies to the next stage of human development.
By which you mean extermination.
I mean, it comes to all of us. And if we can get through that, we might have a brighter future to come.
I do think, in spite of what I just said about electoral politics, that we can pull it off sooner than, the amount of time it takes to do electoral politics. Sure. And I definitely get a lot of flack for this take, and I give it all the time anyway. Like, electoral politics moves slowly. If we don't have a lot of time, we need to start getting way more creative about how we're approaching these problems. Like, we can't keep playing by their rule book. We need to figure out like novel, creative solutions that don't rely on them helping us. That's what I
Right.
think.
Yeah. You know, I actually want to give a shout out to someone who's been on the pod a couple of times and been on the stream a couple of times, Aqua, because like his vision that like he and some of the organizers that he's working with have for like the perpetual campaign that doesn't rely on a person but could just sort of absorb new candidates into it and
Mhm.
then like let them go when the time comes. I think that that's like actually like a pretty strong concept in a lot of ways in terms of like so many of these people, we talk about this all the time, they put all this work into this stuff and then what happens to like the organizing and the shit that we did. And in some cases we talk to people like Asher, who he came really close in his election. It was very exciting. Like almost won out of really like kind of almost nowhere in a lot of people's opinions, and sort of like he was not getting like a lot of mainstream media coverage or anything, you know what I mean? Like he, you know, has a plan to use his remaining fundraising to run again, and he's already like kind of setting things up and getting the ball rolling. And so in his case, it's like it's fine, but in some of these people's cases, they may never run again. And like, you know, where does that momentum go? And so like, I think if we had organizations that could do things like what Aqua was talking about, where like you can show up and be like, I'm ready to run as a progressive, and they have some of the tools just like already sitting there for you, and you don't have to make them from scratch every time. It would make a big difference, obviously, right?
Well, yeah, none of these people who lost, it's not Game of Thrones. None of them died. Like they woke up tomorrow and they're like, yeah, I'm still alive. It's fine.
Nancy
So-
Pelosi didn't arrange for all of them to be in the same church during a tragic incident.
Correct. There's not a green fireball that's blowing up from Capitol Hill. Everybody's fine. So in terms of raising awareness and all that other good stuff, they're still there.
Yeah.
It's all fine. So good.
Shoot, if you took at least 15%, whoever you are out there, even if you're not someone we've ever talked about before, you took at least 15% in your election, you should really think about running again, because like that may not sound like enough to, I mean, it's not enough to win, obviously, and so that 15% might sound like a little like, is that really? But like that's really good for a first time. Your name is out there. Just keep that momentum going, you know? And I think a lot of the people that we just saw, you know, give pretty good performances in these elections are going to be in office in 2 to 4 years. And like, y'all better watch the fuck out, because when Lindsey Boylan is finally in office, it's going to be like the Joker movie.
I don't know how it's going to go, but I don't even want to get into that.
Kennedy is fired for making a Joker reference. The end.
We did an episode where we saw the Joker and talked about it.
We did. Was that Red Clay?
Yeah, that was
Red Clay. Yeah, back in the before times when Red Clay was a thing. Honestly,
yeah, you actually watched it. I haven't even seen it. I just make references to it.
Yeah, we did it with Cats too. I think probably what's going to happen for people who missed Red Clay is we're just going to roll in the Red Clay content that was like good and worth sharing and just release it on our Patreon or something.
Yeah.
Because like there were genuinely some good episodes. Yeah, like the time one of our best episodes was like one of our first ones. We played Fuck, Marry, Kill with like everybody running for president for the DNC. That's when there was like 20 of them.
It was rad. It was
a really funny episode. So we'll probably roll it in.
God.
It's like mostly me and Brandon, and then there's one other person who just didn't make the cut. Sorry, Adam.
Yeah.
Get out there, damn.
Oh.
Listen, like this person not only didn't make the cut, but alienated me specifically. So.
Uh-oh.
You know.
Well, we won't talk about that anymore. So listen, we have a little bit more time before we got to wrap this stream up. We are recording with some people at the top of the hour.
Yeah.
So we got stuff. We can't be here forever. Is there anything else like that y'all were super excited to talk about today? The news?
Yeah. If you're in the chat and you've got questions, comments, or concerns about the day's events or just life in general, we'll hang out. We'll just chill. We'll vibe.
And while we wait for some comments to roll in,
While we wait, this podcast is sponsored by
No,
Raid Shadow
You
Legends.
gotta stop saying that because somebody's gonna think that you're serious, and we are not getting paid money. We need money from Raid
Yes,
if we're gonna
actually.
keep this bit up.
Listen, these are. Can you just move your mouth? Wait, Kennedy, move your mouth like you're talking, and out. These are console quality graphics that fit inside of your phone. A lot of people don't understand the value that comes from having Raid Shadow Legends. It's free to start, and we'll start you with a free
All right.
legendary hero. Use code something.
You're canceled. All right.
I'm
wanna
like
talk about-
almost mad how good Brandon is at just ad-libbing commercials.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
just
my life.
did it.
talk a little bit about COVID testing, because like Trump's been playing this will he won't he game. He said that we should slow down testing so that we didn't have as many cases, quote unquote, because if you don't report
That's how that
them, then
works.
they get
He's a ding dong.
Things disappear when you go to sleep.
I
The
love
world
object
just
permanence.
stops existing when you go to sleep.
Yeah, it's true. When you go to sleep, the world doesn't exist. If you look away, if you don't look at something, it's not real. And so Trump wants to slow down COVID testing. Then he said it was a joke. Then he said it wasn't a joke. Ha ha, double cross. You're real dummies if you believe anything that happens, period. And then he said that he will be cutting federal funding at the end of this month for COVID testing. So apparently it's really not a joke. It seems like cutting federal funding for COVID testing is not going to go over well with everyone per se.
I think there will be a freaking rebellion. People will lose their shit, especially because this is happening at the same time that the cases are spiking, and it's happening at the same time that they're talking about evicting people. Like, I think that like the United States as a people are very docile, but not that docile. Some shit's gonna get torn up. Like if they keep going on the way they're going, shit's gonna get torn up, bro. Like, well, Anne, let's talk about this.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
this is good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so Senate Bill 463, a GOP-dominated House committee voted on a bill that would prohibit the Secretary of State from automatically sending out absentee ballot applications like we did in the Georgia primaries because, per the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, the absentee ballot program caused problems for voters who never received their ballots or faced delays when they instead showed up at precincts on Election Day. It came about because Speaker Ralston bought Trump's lie about, and I quote, massive amounts of fraud. So, yeah, I mean, that's, it's a mixed fucking bag. What we really should have is, like,
automatic registration.
hand-marked, automatic registration and hand-marked paper ballots. Like, full stop.
It's something that most right-wing people are like, yeah, paper ballots. They think that we're trying to control. Like, Lindsey Graham will come in here. It's like AOC controls all the ballots.
Yeah.
And she
Well,
personally counts all the votes.
The truth is, like, our use of electronic ballots is a major part of why I say electoralism right now is not worth it. Because there's no reason to even believe that if we did get the right number of people together, they wouldn't just fudge the results.
Although I just want to say for the record, accountability is more important than the method. We could have electronic ballots with like end-to-end signature encryption that you could check the status of your ballot at any time, like that you could like verify how it like adds into totals and things like that. Like we could have a system. We have systems like this for certain things already. Like the idea that it's impossible, we have like, I can fucking get on an app and do anything and like track my fucking delivery driver on their way to my house or whatever, right? Like, what I mean? Like the idea that like we can't have an accountable electronic system to me is something I like to push back against a little bit, because we could have paper ballots and it could be corrupt as hell. We could have electronic ballots that are actually trackable. In some ways, it has more to do with who these people are that are fucking in charge of this shit. And do we have any accountability? Right now, your ballot goes into a fucking void. You don't know what happened to it. You cannot go get a receipt that tells you for sure that your ballot was counted and how it was counted or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you cannot like go to your fucking election commissions and like get information about what happened to your ballot. It just goes into a fucking hole. And I just like, that has to end. Like that's like as long as that's going on, it doesn't matter how we vote. Like our ballots can't be going into a fucking hole. If we're supposed to have democracy, we should have accountability, and we should be able to see those votes. Period.
That's all very well said. You always, by the way, I dare you to debate that Italian guy wearing that banana outfit.
Hashtag banana speaks.
That's right. If you do that, you'll be a real winner. I feel like if we can secure money in Vegas, election should not be that hard. I feel like we have more of a political willpower problem than a technological problem. You do make a good point about the paper ballots because, listen, votes can get yeeted. Even if they're made of paper. According to Lindsey Graham's Twitter, if you have a white-sounding name and you ask for a ballot, AOC and the squad, they personally put your ballot in a shredder, which I think is not good. There are a lot of Latino people who have white-sounding names, and they're being unfairly discriminated against.
Also, the Jews. We have. Well, it depends. If you recognize Jewish names, then you certainly will just throw us out. But it's like increasingly uncommon.
This whole thing is run by Soros, so I mean, y'all should be fine. I think they're letting the tribe go through and vote.
And how would you create accountability? Like I said, you should be able to check the status of your votes at any time. There should be a record that you can go check that tells you every vote you've ever cast and shows that you should be able to look at lists of how many votes were cast on a county by county basis. They know this stuff. There's no reason they can't tell us. It's kind of like that old joke of like the government being like, here, pay your taxes. And you're like, how much do I pay? And the government's like, you got to guess. And you're like, but does that mean that I can make it up? And the government's like, no, I know exactly how much money you owe. You know what I mean? Like we have systems like this that just don't make sense in this regard. And this is one of them where like the government, our election officials know what votes were counted, by what method each vote was cast, where it was cast, down to like some pretty specific metrics. And we should know those things so that you can go and kind of verify. And if you wanted to have some kind of independent election commission that went through and kind of like tried to verify, match up people's votes with the data that they put out, you could. Right now, that's impossible. If they tell you this many people voted for this guy, we just have to assume that they're being relatively honest. And like, we have absolutely no accountability to actually like stack up against that assumption or anything. There's no ability for the public to audit the voting process in any way. This all happens behind closed doors. Nothing should be more transparent in government than this, period. Like if we were to talk about like things that need to be absolutely transparent in government, nothing should be more transparent in government than this. It's hard for me to even talk about this accountability issue because it's like every single aspect of this shit is wrong and fucked up.
Well, and I think that's by design. I think it's intentional in some capacities. Like, I think that is very much, a part of the strategy is to make voting labyrinthine and difficult and frustrating, because then only the people who can pay somebody else to get it ready for them are actually going to do it, right? Like, if you can just pay somebody else to get you registered, whatever, no big deal. Like, if you have to do it yourself and navigate this website that's down, most of the time, and also is really hard to navigate, and you have other things to do with your time, particularly because you're like working 70 hours a week, like then you're just not going to do it, right? And it disenfranchises people.
Yeah.
And I think that's very much intentional. I also think when you say it just goes into a box and nobody knows what's going on and there's no accountability, I think that one is actually maybe even not as much like a suppression or disenfranchisement strategy as it is just literally mass incompetence. Like, I don't think they know what's happening either, frankly. Yeah. I don't think that they did the research. Like we talk about the voting machines that Georgia's using that can be hacked like instantly with zero effort. Like, I think that part is also just incompetence, truly.
Boomers are in charge of our politics.
And they shouldn't be anymore.
They shouldn't be in charge of anything. So, of course, you put them in charge of the election counting process. They don't know what a blockchain is. They don't know how FedEx or how package tracking works. They don't know what a database is. By the way, Ren is smiling because Ren, they're like, I'm going to give this exact same speech to you in like 8 years. I'm just waiting. They don't know
I would
what
hope.
TikTok is. They don't know how to dab. They don't know what's bapping. Yeah, but like you can't expect any kind of modern technological standard of anything while this generation's in power. Just period.
Yeah. To be clear, the fact that we know how to dab means dabbing has not been cool for a long time.
That's correct. It hasn't been cool since
We found out about
It's
it.
not cool, but I do it anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah. They don't play They've never played Fortnite.
That's true.
Hashtag
actually.
banana dabs.
But I would hope that in the spirit of generational relations or whatever, that we I think broadly are doing better than like Gen X did with us when we were,
Sure.
Zoomers age. I would hope that when we get to the point that we're technologically irrelevant, which is basically now actually, I already don't know shit.
I don't maybe kind of.
It's happening. It's coming upon us. And I would hope that we would like have the wisdom to just hand over the reins.
We've
in that
been
way.
begging for death since we were born. This is not going to be. We'll be like, yes, whatever.
Exactly.
However it goes.
Y'all want to do it? Fine. Fuck it. I believe
Fine.
you. Like,
You're out of here, man.
no, I
Um,
think it's true. We're all just patiently waiting to fucking die. So
This podcast is. Wait,
sorry
hold
you're
on.
from a generation that sucks, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, there are good Gen X
an
people. I
exception.
have some
I'm
friends.
glad you're an exception and that you're not like that.
Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not ageist. I have Gen X friends, but Gen X sucks.
I am ageist.
Listen. It's not about individual. It's just their culture. I have problems with the culture.
Disaffected is not an identity,
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just not. And being like aggressively disaffected isn't cool. It's just like pointless. It's a waste of a human life.
Really, everything is pointless and a waste of a human life. Hashtag millennials. All right,
Yeah.
let's
When you think about it, we would rather be dead. Millennials.
Fork knife is over. Thank you for the Zoomer take. Yeah, we know Fortnite really went out of style like 6 months ago. But I don't know what Gen Z cares about. I don't know
I
what
don't
they.
care about Fortnite.
All right, what is cool? Tell us what's cool right now.
Minecraft is cool.
Okay.
That's not
Minecraft
even
isn't
a-
cool.
Minecraft.
All right,
will
never
tell
mind.
you
The
that.
Minecraft Renaissance is upon us, so I'm sorry.
They just released some new updates like today, actually, and my daughter is extremely excited about them.
Hey, young folks, what's cool? Minecraft, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Wait, My Chemical Romance is back?
Yeah, they've been back
They
since
never left.
Halloween.
No, like in popular again. Not like are they like
Yeah,
back?
yeah.
That's nice.
Every
Aw,
teenager right now is listening to MCR. It's very strange
Aw.
to me.
that's adorable. We have a shared common teenage experience. That's
All right,
unexpected.
folks, we got to wrap this up. We got other things
We're
to
not-
record.
We're actually not wrapping up yet.
Oh,
This podcast is sponsored by the United Campus Workers of Georgia. We are making sure that they are not having COVID-related problems when the fall comes back around. That is, mandating masks, making sure that there's opportunity for digital learning and shit like that. There's a URL that should be on the screen right now. You go and you type it in. It's like 5 seconds. You sign the little petition. This is for like a university. It's full of dorks. They're the kind of people that actually would be interested in petitions. And if you join their mailing list, they will give you ways to stay up to date, keep these people's feet to the fire, and do all that other good stuff. tiny.cc/UCW 2020. That's all. I just
Yeah.
wanted to give them a quick shout out before
They
we
deserve a plug.
got the hell out of here. Yeah.
Although I wish they were actually sponsoring us, like paying us, but they deserve the plug anyway.
There's no one sponsoring us except for you, the patrons. So
Right.
go to patreon.com/notsafe. Send us money. We'll use it in Raid Shadow Legends, which has again console quality. It's amazing.
Maybe literally this month, so
Yeah. But thank y'all for watching. It's always great. We will find some fruit outfits to wear for y'all since we see you people are into that weird shit. All right. We'll
Can
talk
I-
later, guys.
4
Hot.
Eastern.
Here's a just proposal.
Sometime
They should all
Central.
be slutty
Why?
fruits. We should do the slutty version.
Slutty fruit.
Woo!
Fruit Friday. Yeah, slutty Fruit Friday.
All right. So
All right. you next
We'll
time.
see y'all. I don't think I'm going to participate in Slutty Fruit Friday, but maybe. You don't know. Keep watching.
There is literally nothing funnier than